everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Esquire's Man at His Best podcast. This is our weekly look at some of the biggest things that have happened this week in the world of men's lifestyle, including updates from our very own website and magazine. So my name is Tom, and I'm the digital director for Esquire Middle East, and as per usual, I am joined by a very special guest. You know, his background is a complete mystery to me, and some might say the entire world in general. The only thing that we know for sure is that he is the editor-in-chief of Esquire Middle East. How are you doing, Matthew?
I'm right, man. How you getting on?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a few things about myself, but I like that element of mystery that just kind of surrounds it. Am I even from this planet? Some say yes. Others say yes.
Most say yes.
Yeah, I haven't met someone who said no. But I take that as a compliment. Air of mystery, Tom. Air of mystery.
Well, we could just continue chatting, or we could just get straight into it.
Get on with the show.
All right, let's start.
I have some very good news for you. Well, it's not very good news, but it's very interesting news to kick off the show today. It is about a man who plays tennis.
Nadal.
Not him. Not Borg. Not McEnroe. Not Murray.
Henman.
It is the one and only, the 20-time Grand Slam champion, the greatest of all time, Roger Federer.
Okay.
So Wimbledon started this week.
And he's won it.
He has already won it. They just gave him a bye, and they just went, meh, he's good. Like, what's the point of Wimbledon? Let's just give it. No, Roger Federer walked out on court for the first time in 20
You have to do.
But for the first time in 20 years, he is not wearing Nike. He has been sporting a new clothing brand. Not a new clothing brand, but his new clothing sponsor, Uniqlo.
Uniqlo.
So, it's kind of been a big story that's come out in the sports world because of the size of the deal. I mean, you got to imagine possibly the most recognized sportsman on earth.
He's a Rolex ambassador.
He is a Rolex ambassador, was a long-term Nike ambassador, and now no longer. He is a Uniqlo ambassador to the tune of, Tom, care to guess? Well, you probably heard the story anyway.
No, at 25. I'm gonna go $25 million.
$300 million over 10 years.
Over 10 years. One would surmise that he's not going to be still playing tennis in 10 years.
No, but I mean, imagine the star power. Well, you know, I think he's pushing. You think he's 36 or something around that
He's
now?
not going to be playing. Well, I guess.
But he's still, you know, top of the world. Well, I think he's second now to Nadal, but he's won a series of Grand Slams in the last 12 months. It's a huge deal, especially when you consider Nike, what the leading sports brand in the world, were paying him $120 million over 10 years for his last deal, which expired in March. So he was open, and Uniqlo swooped in there, doubling the Nike offer.
More than, well, yeah, doubling and again.
Doubling and some, which is pretty nuts, man. 300. Imagine getting $300 million just to wear
clothes,
to wear a t-shirt.
I'd
do that.
But so
Uniqlo.
So Nike, but Nike is a sportswear brand. Uniqlo is not a sportswear brand.
No, Uniqlo is like a fast fashion Japanese casual wear brand.
Exactly. So are they going to make sportswear now?
Well, I imagine with that kind of investment, they would specialize in making things especially for him. Maybe they branch off into that area. Maybe he gives them access into that whole new market of going there, which isn't a bad idea at all. The one interesting thing is Uniqlo no makes sports shoes.
Yeah, so whose shoes is he wearing?
Nike.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how that deal works out, but he's still wearing the Nike shoes at Centre Court in Wimbledon. It's a huge news for the sports world, the sports kind of marketing world. And then as Uniqlo kind of slipping in. The Uniqlo previously, obviously, they've sponsored Novak Djokovic, former world number one. I think they also have Nishikori, who's a Japanese tennis player. He's in the world top 10. But that is more, he's very big in Japan and kind of known in the tennis world. But obviously Federer's next level. You know?
Yeah, but one would imagine that he's going to become the face of their brand for the next 10 years, right?
Oh,
but not just like, Federer was always the face of tennis for Nike.
Yes.
You know, he wasn't peddling Nike golf stuff.
No, absolutely not.
So one would imagine that he will also become the menswear ambassador for Uniqlo.
Yeah, I assume especially with his. No, I wouldn't want to say his career's winding down because he keeps winning Grand Slams. But I mean,
Yeah.
especially with potential retirement within this contract length, 10 years.
Yeah.
I doubt he'll still be playing at 45.
Not at the same level, although, I mean, never say never.
Hey, the Swiss Superman. Is that what they call him? I think that's a wrestling reference. To be fair, you might not get it. So basically, Federer. I mean, he know LeBron, if you will.
He know LeBron. Does he know LeBron?
I bet he knows LeBron because they're both Nike athletes. But he's that element of it.
Well, with that awkward
I was trying for the
segue
segue.
into.
I was trying for the segue.
Hey, speaking of sports,
Tell me more.
there was another big change in the world of sports announced a few days ago.
LeBron to be kidding me?
LeBron, the best basketball player of his generation,
I've heard of him.
and potentially future greatest of all time.
The GOAT.
He has broke Cleveland's heart once again and said he's leaving his hometown.
Again.
And again, he could have. So we all know he's gone to the Lakers.
Did he do it with that? Did he do it in that really clanging the decision way that he did it the first time when he went to Miami Heat, when it was at 2011 or so?
No, I think he did it via a late Lakers spokesperson.
Oh, right, fair. Do you remember that time he did it with when he went to the Heat? They ran like a live press conference and they were like planning it for like a week, and it was like on prime time, and it was called LeBron the decision, and then he just went, "Yeah, I'm moving to Miami because I can't win anything here at Cleveland." Went to Miami, won like loads, and then moved back to Cleveland. But now, after almost single-handedly dragging the Cavs to the finals where they lost in a sweep to the Warriors this year, he's just up sticks again, has he?
Well, yeah. So it's kind of interesting you said that. So he went to the Heat because it would get him closer to that championship ring. So he could have gone. You would have thought that LeBron could have gone to any team he really wanted to.
Any team.
Like absolutely any team.
He's the GOAT.
So I mean, like there was talk that he would go to the Rockets, who came very close to stealing the series from the Warriors.
Yeah.
The 76ers are tipped to win at least the Eastern Conference next year because they have a really talented team of really good rookies, of which he'd slide right in.
Yep.
But he went with the Lakers, who won 35 games last year.
Oh, they were awful, man.
Like a very, very bad, very bad team.
But like the potential of LeBron at the Lakers, the history they have with Kobe and Magic, and the star power of reinvigorating that franchise. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Like again, why do you think he wanted to move to LA?
Hollywood, baby.
Well, yeah. So there's a few different reasons. Obviously, he hasn't really come out clean and said the exact reason why. But one is his family loves California. And
who doesn't?
Who doesn't love California, especially in the summer? The summer of California is lovely.
The OC, Tom.
Yeah, the OC.
Don't call it
that. So again, they love California. Also, again, how old is LeBron?
Must be like in his early 30s.
Yeah, but again, and what time? Kobe retired when he was 36.
Yeah.
So, or like maybe 37.
Yeah.
So again, he's only got maybe 5 years left. Hollywood is a good place to put down like roots for a post playing career, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at his For those watching on camera,
just checking your text.
Yeah, no, I'm checking to see how old LeBron is. There you go. LeBron, born in '84, which makes him maths.
Do the maths.
I know. 35.
34.
34? 34.
Wait, there's another reason as well, which is, of course, when LeBron started playing, he's a very tall man, LeBron.
Yes.
Right? And yet he plays point guard.
He does, and he can shoot, and
usually
powerful and muscular.
Usually point guards are the little ones.
They are.
Because they throw the ball around.
They dictate the play.
Now, who else, what other in the history of the NBA was a very, very tall point guard?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Mr. Magic Johnson. And Magic Johnson is now the president of the Lakers.
I know he is. Yeah.
See, this all starting to
starting
to come together.
Making bringing back the dynasty, baby.
Well, yeah. So people are now saying that kind of it makes sense for him to be going back there because obviously someone who has also done incredibly well post career was Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
So again, maybe he can not necessarily guide him on the court, but guide him off the court.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure LeBron has got some good. Man, he's also a good actor, you know. I watched that film with Amy Schumer, John Cena. Did you see that one?
Yeah, but wasn't.
It was good. He was good in
I
it.
don't know. That was good acting.
Yeah, come on. It's better than like Hulk Hogan's acting.
He played a wooden LeBron James.
He played LeBron James. I mean,
He's also,
if anyone can play LeBron James.
Speaking of sponsorships, AP.
LeBron James
Automatic
is an
Gay is
Automatic
an
ambassador.
AP ambassador.
Is this your slightly better segue into your second story?
Well, yeah, we may as well move on to Watch News.
Now,
A new segment.
Do we have a sting for Watch News?
A new segment I'm calling Watch News. Yeah, let's put a sting in. Ready? Enjoy this sting for Watch News. Watch News.
Good, huh?
So, 3, not 1, not 2, 3 new watches.
3 new watches from who?
Well, the first one is kind of a collaboration.
Okay.
I think we should start at the lower end and we'll work our way up. This is a good way.
All right.
This is a good way to do this.
So people can, when they hit their price point, they can turn this off and run and go get that watch.
Yeah.
Cool, but don't turn this off.
And then the reason why the expensive one is at the end is because rich people have more time.
They do have more time.
So
Literally, they have more watches, so they have more time.
Yes. So the first one, Timex.
Yes,
But
Timex.
Timex,
okay, yeah.
Timex.
I'm with you.
You've seen them. They've partnered up with the designer Todd Snyder
Yes,
to create a new watch called the Blackout Marlin.
that's cool.
So the Marlin came about last year. It's 34 millimeters. It's quite small, but it's like mid-century. It looks a bit classic and retro. And the beauty is it costs $200.
Nice, okay. So you buy a couple.
It is automatic as well.
Oh, great. Swiss made?
Well, I don't think it's Swiss made. I think it's like a Solita, not a Solita. What's the one beginning with M? That's the Japanese one. Anyway, doesn't matter. It looks nice. It's got black leather. So they released a load of these last year, and they sold out in like a few hours.
Okay. This being an audio medium, Tom, and visual for people watching on YouTube, hello. Where can I see pictures of this?
If you close your eyes and you imagine, imagine what you see.
Yeah,
When I tell you it has a black sunray dial and a crocodile embossed leather strap.
Ooh. But you just told me about the strap.
It's sunray dial.
Yeah.
You weren't listening.
Well, no, but what I meant to say is that for our readers who...
Silver case, black dial, crocodile, leather strap.
God, I mean, what color? No, more importantly, for our for our listeners
Yeah,
who
all
are
of-
listening on their way to work who don't want to close their eyes because they're driving.
All of this is
I
on
see-
esquireme.com.
I've heard of that website. It's
Obviously.
beautiful piece of
In
work.
the intro, it says all these stories from our website.
Yeah, this is called in-story promotion.
Anyway, this is available right now, but you should definitely go to the Timex website to get it, and you shouldn't wait for it to get to this region because they will 100% be sold out by the time they get here.
That's a guarantee, Tom.
Yeah,
and if they
it's
aren't,
100%.
you can call him directly.
In fact, you should go on like now, the moment you hear this. Otherwise, they will be sold out. You will have a broken heart and an empty wrist unless you go to the Timex shop.
So
now.
if you do have an empty wrist, what is the second watch that I would get?
So that's all sold out. Damn it, you missed it. Move on to the next one.
Rats.
Porsche. I don't know if you know this, but Porsche has turned 70 years old.
I know this because I talk to Porsche regularly, but readers may not. Or, you know, and happy birthday to Porsche. It's been a long birthday. It's July.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, so not only is Porsche 70 years old, but kind of de facto, that means Porsche design are kind of getting involved as well.
Okay.
So even though they're kind of run very differently,
Yes.
Porsche design obviously is choosing to jump on the bandwagon.
So when you were saying watch news and then you said the word Porsche, you're getting to a point.
Yeah. Porsche design has done a watch.
Cool.
This watch is in celebration of the iconic 911, which debuted in 1948. This is why it's the 70th.
car.
Yes, the car.
Okay.
Not the other one.
It's important to stress these points.
It is called the 1919 Date Timer 70Y.
It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It's as good a name as the Taycan,
The car.
which is a terrible name, and this is also a terrible name.
Porsche need to, look, if they need someone to come on board and talk to them about naming stuff, just drop us an email at esquireme.com. We will come at you with all of the best names.
Well, even look, Timex Todd Snyder. They called it the Blackout.
It's a good name. It's black. It's a black watch called the Blackout. Done.
Anyway, this has got a Swiss automatic movement.
Okay.
Held inside a 42mm titanium case.
Okay, quite big.
Which is coated with titanium carbide.
I don't know what that is.
It makes it look black.
Okay.
Matte black. It's got a 38-hour power reserve, which is not quite enough if you take it off on the weekend. If you take it off on Thursday night, you have to then reset it on Sunday when you put it on. But
this sounds like a kind of watch where you would want to wear it over the weekend.
Yeah, it's good. It's modern, but kind of classic.
Does it have the watchmaking swagger, the nous? If you're wearing it and watch people see it, do they go, or do they go, ugh?
I think Porsche design kind of sits in that weird middle ground. I think if you're wearing one of a few select Porsche design models, they're all pretty well built. Again, they're known as design-based watches. I don't think you're going to get scoffed at, but I don't think people are going to be running to take a picture of your wrist.
Fair enough.
But if you own a Porsche, I imagine the Dubai UAE Porsche Owners Club, I bet they've got a few of them.
You'd hope so. You'd hope they get offered. Do you have a price point for it, or have they not released that yet?
They haven't released it, although a part of me remembers them going for around $3,500. So what, we're looking at like 12,000 dirhams.
That's pretty pricey for a... I suppose it is a Swiss watch made automatic.
Titanium.
Bicarbonate of soda?
The strap is made from the same high-end leather as Porsche's car seats.
Cool. Good car seats.
And on the back it says 70 years.
Yeah, but not Porsche design. No.
Well, it'll say Porsche design somewhere on there.
Fair. No, sorry. Except Porsche design isn't 70 years old.
No.
In theory.
Well, in theory.
Watch story.
Right,
Number 3.
That's your middle ground, right? So now we're talking about the high end.
Okay.
Now we're talking about the
money rollers.
The big guys. But you know what? There's a lot of attention on wealthy people at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially the...
There generally always is, mate.
But, like, there's a lot of, evil wealthy people, let's put it that way. Like, how...
Villains.
Yeah, villains. How, like, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, he's like a Bond villain. He's going to use his money to send a rocket to space, going to come crashing down and break reality as we know it, and...
Allegedly.
Yes. There's a lot of...
Musk.
Yes. Don't know about him. So, anyway, people with a lot of money, highly distrustful.
Highly distrustful.
Should be distrust. I don't know. Anyway, Bond villains is all I'm trying to say. So Chopard.
With great money comes great responsibility.
Well, yeah, and this is where kind of Chopard come in. 55 years ago, Chopard was taken over by the...
Oh, how do you pronounce that one?
It's the Schufel family?
Sure.
Anyway, by a new family. And as soon as they took over, they decided to... I don't know why I printed this on paper either. I've got a laptop. They decided to essentially vertically integrate their business and take full control of their supply chain. Now, that is also a means to kind of maximize revenue because you kind of know where kind of the gold is coming from. You know the dudes who are mining it, so you can get the best price. You know where it's being machined and made. And
yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a great strategy and it's a great thing about it.
It's like what Apple are trying to do so they can make the most money.
Yeah.
However, what these guys have done is because they know kind of every single step in the production process from pulling something out the ground, melting it down, smelting
it down,
if you will, to then it going on someone's wrist, they have decided that, luxury needs to be responsible.
Yep.
And so they have decided to kind of really promote their journey to sustainable luxury.
There you go. How's that for a tagline?
Well, what it actually means is that all of the gold in anything Chopard, watch and jewelry related, they announced this in April, by the way, will be fair mined gold.
Yep. Yeah, so fair mind is a trademark term for Chopard. I actually met Carl Frederick, the co-president in...
What's his last name?
Carl Frederick. We're friends, so we just go by first names. And we met up in Geneva, or in Switzerland, and he was telling us about this, and the idea of the fair mined gold is it's wholly owned by Chopard, and it's a very important asset to the future of their watches.
I also met him in Bordeaux, of all places.
Did you?
He has a house there.
Ah, delightful. Did you stay at his house?
I did.
Was your bed made of Fairmined gold?
No, it was to launch the tonneau-shaped watch.
The tonneau-shaped watch means that it's more of a barrel-shaped watch.
Barrel-shaped. No, anyway, but that also was made out of Fairmined gold.
Well, there you go.
And again, this watch, it's the Quattro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know why it's called the Quattro? Do you remember?
I do, but why don't you tell our readers?
It has 4 barrels. What do barrels do?
Produce energy.
Store energy. And so this one has a 216-hour power reserve.
See, that will last you a whole weekend.
Yep, it will. At 12 o'clock, it has a. You can. I'm not going to describe it. You can go to where can they go to look at it, Matt?
Well,
You so eloquently put it.
I believe the website would be esquireme.com.
Yes.
Which has all the images of all the watches Tom's been talking about, and a little bit more.
Anyway, the price of this one is, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
I have been told that price many times when I ask.
But however, I mean, can you put a price on something that's both handsome and humanitarian?
I mean, I don't have a price. So, read into that as you will.
Anyway, 3 watches at 3 various price points. That has been Watch News.
Watch News?
No, say it again.
Yeah. What bit am I saying again?
The Sting.
Sting. Insert Sting here.
No, you have to say Watch News.
Watch News. Watch News. I don't know why I lean closer to the microphone when I say that. We're not cutting any of this. This is all
No, we
staying in.
record live.
Yeah. All right. Last bit of news before we can get out of here in a crisp 25 minutes plus additional extra for,
For saying Watch News
saying
over and over
for
again.
waffle. Tom, you spoke about collaborations earlier.
I smell another
There
segue.
is another. There's a collab, but the segues are great. Look,
I talked about the Todd Snyder and Timex watch collaboration.
I am talking about a collaboration between 2 things that pretty much everyone has heard of.
Okay.
But you would never put them together. But it's happened, Tom. And I'm not talking about the Supreme and Clark's tie-in from earlier this year, which is, 2 fashion brands and a shoe brand.
Chicken and waffles. 2
Chicken
things you
and
wouldn't
waffles,
think would
yeah.
ever go together. And yet-
IHOP and burgers. I mean, it's mental. But no, I am talking about NASA.
NASA, the National Aeronautic Space Association.
Correct.
Association?
And IKEA.
IKEA, the International Kraken. It's in Swedish, isn't it? So I don't know what that is.
No one knows what it means. No one, not even the Swedes. Yeah, it just means good home furnishing.
You are now banned from Sweden. I don't think they take this very...
No, they're very limited humor when it comes to IKEA.
All right, so NASA...
So NASA are teamed up with IKEA.
IKEA, they're sending IKEA furniture to space. This is an easy story.
They are making space-aged furniture, Tom.
Ah.
Yeah. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of like, until you hear that sentence, you go, yeah, okay, so what's happening there? So basically, what they've designed is IKEA's goal for the agreement or for the collaboration was to design for small space living.
Like in space.
Like in
you
space.
don't have very much space, ironically.
Yeah, and for example, like in Japan, very small apartments. Ironically, the actual team went to Japan to do some research and work at the kind of do some research into the compact living that comes around living in Tokyo and high-rise places. They also, though, in a little bit more basis for their study with NASA, they went to the NASA Mars Desert Research Station in Utah, where they basically train future astronauts to live in close quarters, perform spacewalks, and control robots as if it was simulated in Mars themselves. So that's pretty cool, and they're releasing a series because obviously IKEA always has collections with names like Billy. So what's the other famous one? I know Billy. Isn't that like a shelf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few more. Billy's the most famous one.
So it's called Rumtid. That's RUMTID.
Rumtid. Does it stand for anything?
Yeah, I think I once read, and this is not verified, but I once read that all the names were taken from bodies of water in Sweden or Scandinavia. So rivers, lakes, pools, ocean, that kind of thing. So that's where, if that's not true, still tell your friends. It's a good story.
Well, you are.
telling my friends. Yeah,
Telling
well, I
everyone.
consider everyone who listens to this my friend.
So the question is, will are they sending this into space flat packed?
for them to build, I
Oh,
assume.
like again, like how I assume it will come flat packed.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to build IKEA in space, would you?
Yeah, but that's the whole point.
Because
IKEA is all about.
But you'd always have those little. You'd always miss the Allen key, like all those little wooden pegs that you have to hammer in. I
Yeah.
mean, well, I suppose in space, no one can hear you scream in frustration out of not being able to build IKEA products.
Because again, I'm pretty sure the physics of putting together an IKEA product in space would be very different.
Yeah.
Like in IKEA,
Well, in zero
instruction
gravity.
manuals, they tell you to put one bit on the floor, and then you hold it like this, and then you knock it in.
No carpets.
But-
You've seen those signs.
But with IKEA, in space,
Yeah.
you'll just be floating around.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah. Well, so reading from the release on this, they're saying they're part of the room-tid collection. There's an air purifier, lights, shelving units, and the team's also created a new tubing system that can be built into tables, beds, sofas, and more. So they'll all basically make your living room look like some kind of Martian settlement.
And also everything you need in space.
Yeah, seriously, IKEA, so good. Colonizing space and Mars now.
I like how you're giving all the credit to IKEA in this, not NASA, the dudes that sent people to the moon. They're the
Listen,
ones.
Who?
Oh, but it's IKEA. They're the ones that deserve the credit for all this.
They seriously revolutionized the home furnishing ecosystem, Tom. So basically, the room-tid collection will be released in 4 separate launches from 2020. So that's a kind of go out and get it, kids, in 2 years' time. So it's don't go now. You won't get it. You'll end up with a couple of stuffed toys, some of those tea candles, and probably like a waste paper basket that you think you really need, but you don't.
One of those pots to put things in.
Yeah.
Because someone will go, oh, that would be good to put my
Yeah.
cufflinks in, and
Yeah.
then you'll have that. And then
You know those like cardboard boxes for like papers.
magazine, I've got a few of them.
Yeah.
A serviette rack with a small metallic ball on top, so
Yeah.
they don't blow away. Whose house is that windy that you need to have something to stop them blow away? I don't understand.
Also, serviettes. The IKEA ones don't really wipe. So you just continually have this stack of things, and they're just not super absorbent. They're just
Yeah, sort it out, IKEA.
Yeah. Stop concentrating on space and start concentrating on Earth. I'm totally not allowed back in Sweden, am I?
No.
Yeah, well, we had a good run. They eliminated Italy from the World Cup, but
Still bitter.
still bitter.
All right then.
Cool, that's me done, man.
So that is it. That is it for me. That is it for him.
I'm also from me.
I'm gonna flick the mic off so you can't keep talking about it, about Sweden or the World Cup, indeed.
There is something I do want to add. This.
What is that? If you're listening,
If you're listening, I've just held up the new issue of Esquire Middle East, the July-August 2018 issue, with Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, on the front cover. It's dope. It's pink masthead. It will run throughout the summer. It has exclusive interview with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We talked to a man who pays tribute to his friend Anthony Bourdain and their time they spent in Beirut together over a decade. And then he wrote a fascinating tribute to him following the tragic news of Anthony Bourdain's death.
but Matt, I'm looking to go away this summer. Is there any reason for me to pick this up?
Yeah, absolutely. Because with this magazine comes the luxury travel book, an Esquire-produced supplement about travel destinations around the world, where to go, where to eat, where to stay, what to do, what to pack. It's bloody brilliant. So that comes with the magazine. It's bagged. I recommend you pick it up off shelves at any point during July or August, but the sooner the better. So, because it's good.
Cool. Well, on that bit of news, let's end this.
Cool.
So we do hope that everyone at home or on your commute or wherever you may be really enjoyed the Esquire Man at His Best podcast. Remember that we have new episodes that come out weekly on Apple iTunes, SoundCloud, Pocket Casts, and more. And of course, we host each individual show on our website, which is esquireme.com, as well as YouTube. We also have several social media accounts.
I'm
where
sure
we,
you follow them.
We push this sort of content out on a daily, some might say hourly basis.
It would be hourly. I would say some of the content is more succinct and doesn't take this much waffle.
And we do that because we are, how in terms of men's luxury lifestyle titles, Matt, what would you say the size? How would we compare?
I would believe that we were the region's largest, most influential, and most successful, and possibly the world's. But I'll leave that up to you guys.
See you next week.
Cheers.